As a parent, there's one question I dread the most, and it's not about homework, it's not about human biology, it's about coloring pages. Now, you might think that the question, Daddy, can you print me a dragon so I can color it, is innocent. Well, it's not, because it always takes way too much time to either find a decent coloring page on a sketchy website full of ads, or convincing my children that a drawing I found is actually okay. Now, some of you might argue that I could use a pen and draw the outlines. Now, that's not really my cup of tea, so no, I'm not doing that. For this reason, for many years, I've tried to find a technical solution to this. This is the story of how, after failing at this multiple times over multiple years, I finally had not one, but multiple solutions that I will share with you. I'm GeoStrives, and I strive to use tech and AI for the good. Let's dive right in. When I was first faced with this problem, my idea was pretty simple. Let's use image editing. Here you can see me using GIMP. Why I'm not using Photoshop? Well, because it's a paid application and this YouTube channel isn't making any money right now. There are different strategies one can attempt. For instance, one can transform a colored image into a black and white one. One can select different colors and try to extract just the outline. There are algorithms which are able to recognize edges, and so one can use those algorithms and then try to remove everything else. My experience doing this is that it takes way too long to get way too little. I'm sure a professional could do it better, but I'm not a professional. So when the first models which used AI to modify images came out, I was super excited. Seeing the results of Stable Diffusion was thrilling, and so I tried. And I failed. At the beginning, Stable Diffusion was able to produce such good images, but it would fail spectacularly at this task.
And I'm not joking, this is how this dragon is transformed.
Why? Well, it was trained on photos, colored images, not on sketches and outlines, and it would simply fail. So I gave up a second time. Now, Stable Diffusion was released 3 years ago, and in 3 years, many things have changed. We now have Nanobanana and other models which are very good at image editing in general. So this is the first solution. You can try Nanobanana and it will give you great results.
To do this, you have to visit aistudio.google.com. It's free. You can upload an image and a prompt and it will make your result. As you can see, here there is still some blue shade remaining, but nothing prevents you from writing a better prompt and maybe doing some post-processing with a photo editing software. This result is much better. Google Nanobanana is also good at creating coloring pages from scratch. Here, for example, I used their standard prompt and I added a section where I told it to create a coloring page. As you can see, the result is pretty good. But this is not what I started this project with. I wanted to transform images, not create them from scratch.
Gemini Nanobanana is great, but if I want to use the API
is not free. What's an API? Well, it's a bit like a password. You can insert it in code, like I'm doing here, where you can see Gemini API key. There, I'm creating a client, which is something that can talk to the Google servers, and then I can use this function generate content. And here you can see I built a simple application that, given a coloring page, will make a call and create the modified image as a coloring page. This allows me to automate this. Of course, API is paid because since I can automate it, I could make a lot of calls.
actually open source. It's Qwen image editing, and it also gives great results. Here you can see the same prompt.
Here I'm using a prompt which should create a kids coloring page, simplifying the original image.
In this case, it didn't do as well. There's more color, but this is a completely useful image. You just need to remove the few coloring left and you're done. Can you use this model for free? Yes, you can. In fact, in the Colab notebook that I will link, you can use it yourself, but there's an issue. It's a big model. Typically, it will take too long to load on the free version of the notebook. So either you have a very good GPU at home, or you won't be able to use it. But in this case, there is a free API which offers it. Just go to Hugging Face.
Visit huggingface.com, go to Settings, Access Token, and create new token. There are a lot of options, but you can create a simple write token and it will do.
Load the API key in the notebook, and then you just make a call.
This is the notebook that you will find attached to this video. On the left you have a little key icon and you can add there the secret token from Hugging Face. In order to run it, you have to click those little play buttons. Here you can see the two prompts. Here we load the token. Then here you will have to click on choose file and load the image. And then essentially wait for the call to be made. API service will send back the modified image, as you can see. Here in the second part of the notebook, we can do the same with the Google API key. In this case, as I said, you will need a paid API key.
We have two solutions, two state-of-the-art image generation models. Is that all? Well, not really.
This is our starting image. Let's try to see if other services will perform well. This is Grok, and you will see that Grok has a couple of issues. The first one is that the image is not as faithful as the input. So you can see that two-headed became two dragons here, and there is some color shade. I also tried to attach a longer prompt, which works better with Gemini, but the result doesn't really change. Unfortunately, Grok image generation as of this moment is not very faithful, but you can still print them and color them if you want them, except this one, which is a little too green. And also ChatGPT Sora model is a possibility. Its main issue is that it takes a long time to create, but the result is pretty good. You can see it was rather faithful.
The first image generation models were released years ago. They didn't work well with this task of, given an image, creating a coloring page, but they could be fine-tuned or adapted in different ways so that they would perform better at this task. And this is exactly what was done here.
If you look for coloring page models on Hugging Face, you will find many of them. The main issue is that in order to use them, you have to know some Python and follow the instructions you find on each model's page.
That's it. How I went from a problem to failing a bunch of times to finding multiple solutions. You can use a free chat, you can use paid APIs, or you can use fine-tuned models. If you want to try it out, I will link everything in a Google Colab with all the descriptions you need and with two different prompts that you can copy and paste. One is for the standard transformation from photo to coloring page, and the other tries to simplify and make the resulting image easier for a child to draw. This is GeoStrives. Thank you for watching up to this point, and see you in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe.